What is up, guys? This is Game Playing Guru, aka GuruRM, and welcome to silly. Sorry, I meant Guru's counselor tier list video. Yes, I have seen so many absolutely abhorrent counselor tier lists on YouTube, and they're not hit or miss, they're hit and miss, dude. They are just that bad. I'm not even gonna front. Like they just don't make sense. But this one is going to be the best one you've ever seen, all packed into a video. This is for the final patch of F13, of course. It'll never be updated again, so you don't have to worry about that. But even if it did, nothing would really change, I don't think. But this is going to be for comp, pretty much, and I think that comp will easily translate over to pubs. So if you're not a competitive player and you're just a pub player that plays for fun, this still will, it'll still work for you in an actual just random pub lobby, because there's no differences between the two, other than comp players being a lot more sweaty than pub players. But before we get into the actual tier list, we're going to go over all the counselor stats and how they work, how they actually work, because a lot of people don't know. There are 7. We're going to go and start with the ones that are pretty basic and straightforward, such as repair, which just increase like how many skill checks you get, like how big the actual skill checks are. So the higher the repair, the less skill checks and the bigger the boxes are, and of course lower the more and the smaller they are. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Speed's also another simple one. Again, it's just how fast your character jogs, runs. It's obviously pretty straightforward. As I said, stamina, same thing. It's just it increases the overall stamina pool, and it reduces the stamina cost of actions, as you can see below it says. So what that means is, like, you can run for longer, you can jog for longer, you can even dodge in combat stands more. It'll eat up less stam the higher it is, and of course, obviously, the higher your stam pool is, the less you'll lose while doing so. And then stealth, which this one kind of is pretty straightforward and kind of isn't, in the sense that if you read the text below, it says stealth reduces the amount of noise generated and Jason's ability to sense. The Jason's ability to sense part is pretty straightforward. If he senses someone or tries to sense someone that has 10 stealth, like AJ, like the first time, might not pop up unless her fear is higher. We'll get into that later. The part that I want to talk about more, though, is the reduces the amount of noise generated. A lot of people don't know what that means, and if you ever play J, you'll see these big, like, white noise bubbles popping up across the map. That is the noise mechanic. The lower the stealth, the bigger those bubbles are and the more frequently they appear, as opposed to higher stealth, less bubbles, smaller bubbles. So that's how that works. And we're gonna get into like a tier list for the stats itself too, like just a mini tier list, and we'll go over that in a couple seconds. But we're gonna move on to composure, and this one's kind of interesting because it's pretty buggy. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna get into it. So composure, it's how fast you gain fear, which fear leads to stumbles, obviously. It also combines with strength when grabbed. Yes, it combines with the strength stat when grabbed to determine how fast you can break out. So this is why Tommy has 10 in every stat, 10 composure, 10 strength. He breaks out really quick. And Adam, out of all the base counselors, I think Adam is still the one with the most composure and strength combined. So he has the fastest breakout time. Of course, if you have more composure or less composure, your fear is higher, or even if your composure is high and you still have like really high fear, it'll still affect the speed that you break out, which will again make it slower. So keep in mind that changes throughout the match. Now, I did mention that composure works in tandem with strength when you're grabbed by Jason. They combine the two stats together to determine how fast you can. But composure also works in hand with stamina pretty much all the time. So of course, your stamina regen is affected by your fear, which is affected by your composure. The lower the composure, the higher your fear gain, which in turn, the higher your fear gain, the slower your stam regen. Vice versa, higher composure, faster stam regen. The moment you hit high fear is when it starts affect, or no, I take that back. As your fear builds up, it also affects your stam regeneration, so they're always working in tandem with each other. There is another mechanic to composure which I just recently learned. Anyway, that the lower the composure, like say Chad, you take Chad with 1 composure for example, he gets full fear, like really quick. He gets freaked out very fast. But Gun Media and Ilphonic kind of overlooked this part because, say Jason morphs away from Chad, since his we'll call it a fear pool is so low, he goes back down to 0 really quick. As opposed to like Jenny Myers with 10 composure. It takes her really long to hit full fear, but once she's there and say Jason morphs away and leaves her alone, it takes pretty much the same amount of time, probably a little bit less, but still a long time, a lot longer than a 1 composure to go back down to 0. I don't know how that's an oversight from Gun Media and Ilphonic. Again, one of the 1 million oversights that they have for this game, but that's just how it works. And it's really weird because I didn't even know it, but it's always good to learn. So, and this is exactly what this video is for, to teach you guys. Now, next is strength. Strength obviously has the base straightforward effect of increasing or determining your attack damage depending on your stat. Bugsy has a lot of damage as opposed to, again, Jenny with 1 strength. Not doing too much per hit, like, very tough, very tough. So it's pretty straightforward, but there is kind of like a hidden mechanic with it that, again, isn't stated, just like all the other ones. So if you're blocking with a weapon, you can, if you have high, say Bugsy again, for example, 10 strength Bugsy, if you block with a weapon, strength determines how many hits you can take while in block before dying or going limp, either or. But the thing is that it's such a minuscule difference. So we take 10 strength Bugsy, for example, he could take 26 hits while blocking until he dies. And then you go to Jenny with 1 strength and it's only 24. So it's a 2-hit difference, which doesn't, do a lot, but I just thought that I should still mention that because who knows, that those 1 or 2 hits might be the make or break it if you're running Bugsy as opposed to running someone with like very low strength. Another hidden advantage of strength is that it reduces, again, if you read the tab, it reduces the stamina cost of combat actions, which is weird because stamina says it does the same thing, but I'm really not sure because strength, when it says reduces the stamina cost of combat actions, it means dodging. Again, stamina does that too, I think, for some reason, but strength does it as well. It has a hand in it. So the higher the strength, the less stam you use when you dodge. And last but not least, strength also affects how long your stuns are on Jason. So Tommy, you ever get shot by Tommy with a shotgun and you're like stunned for like, it feels like an eternity? Yeah. Bugsy with 10 strength, damn near same thing. So strength determines how long they are stunned. It doesn't play a huge part, I don't think, especially if, Jason gets that stun prompt where they have to spam X to get up or spam X to do whatever. But if they're just like, they can't break out and they just have to wait to get unstunned, strength determines how long that takes. Now, luck is like the most interesting stat. Like, it's very loaded and very confusing. It has a bunch of different, like, tiny uses actually, and people don't know them. Of course, that's also because that they don't tell you. If you read the tab at the bottom, it says luck increases weapon durability, which is obviously the straightforward purpose as a given. But it also gives minor increases to many other stats. Now, what that does not mean is that it's boosting your other stats like composure, repair, speed, blah blah. No, it's not doing that. It instead gives you like tiny perks, I guess I'll call them, depending on how high your luck is. So for example, luck affects weapon durability, sure. It also affects how fast you start vehicles, like the car and the boat. So take Chad with his 10 luck, he can start the car and the boat really fast, but AJ with her 1 luck cannot do it so fast. Very big difference actually. But keep in mind that luck does not affect how fast you can call Tommy or call the cops. I don't think anything in the game, nothing in the game changes that whatsoever, as far as I know. It's just something that's stable through every single counselor in the game. Even Tommy himself, he cannot call the cops faster. But luck does increase or affect how much stam you receive back when you hit Jason. Say you're low on stamina and you need to hit him for stamina back. High luck will give you more. It'll also give you more stam when you break free of Jason's grab, whether that be tapping out normally or using a pocket knife. They're both the same. Higher luck will give you stam back, or more stam back when you break out. Now, contrary to popular belief, luck does not, it used to for these, but it does not determine window damage, and it does not determine damage taken from traps anymore. That was taken out a long time ago. I think it was like silently taken out, but it was changed like years back. And it also does not determine how many skill checks you get in repair wheels. I think that it either may have done that before, like the same with the traps in the windows. Sorry, like the same with the traps in the windows, and it was changed silently, or it just never was a thing in general. Because back in the day, people thought that luck increased your drawer drops, like you get more shit out of drawers if your luck's higher. But no, that never was the case. So I'm not sure. That's something that I can't give you the concrete answer to, but to be safe, I'm going to say that it does not affect how many skill checks you get in a repair wheel. Now, I know that not all pub players know about this, but block sliding is something that is very commonly used in competitive play. And of course, block sliding, blocking with your weapon. Blocking is also affected by luck, your weapon durability with luck. So the higher the luck, the more you can hit Jason, and the more you can block hits from Jason. And if you have higher luck, you can block slide a lot more, which can save you from being limped and then killed. It'll buy you time. And so it's very important, and that's also going to be something that we're going to take into consideration with this tier list, as I will with all the stats. So bear with me because we're not done yet. We just explained what every single stat does in its entirety to this day, but now we have to put them in a sub tier list, I guess, because if I don't, then again, you might not understand why this tier list is the way it is. So the worst stat in the game is stealth 100%, and that should be a no-brainer. I know that there's a bunch of stealth players out there, but the thing is with stealth is that any good Jason is going to flick his sense on and then flick it back off to check around him and save it. Instead of just using it all the way and having it regenerate from the bottom, you flick on sense for a second, look around you, take it back off. It'll stop at halfway instead of going all the way down, and it'll be a faster regen, and he could use it faster. But once he hits rage, or as the game goes on and he gets closer to rage, his sense, I guess we'll call it a web, increases. And by the time he's in rage, he can sense across the map, pretty much the entire map size. He can sense you from the other side of the map. Not only that, but your composure also takes into account your fear, and the higher your fear, the easier it is to be sensed. Take AJ for example. She has 10 stealth and her composure is 7, which we'll get to that later, but I think that the composure is bugged for her, and I don't think it really is 7 to this day. There's no way it is. She gets fear so fast. So the thing is with her, if she's full fear, she's getting sensed. Even with the 10 stealth, she's getting sensed. Now of course if you run low profile, which is a waste of a perk slot, if you're using low profile it may help you a little bit, but at the end of the day, do not play for stealth because that's not the meta anymore. Especially against really good Jason, stealth is the most useless stat in the game. In 6th place we'll have strength, which it's a decent stat. Of course, you know, considering all of its like added benefits, like being able to take more hits and block, using less stam when you dodge, stuff like that, and like how working with composure to see like how fast you can break out of a grab. But other than that, like its main purpose is attack damage, and of course it's nice to be able to have a high strength and demask Jason really quick if you want to kill him. But the thing is, with all the items you have in the game, like shotguns, flares, even firecrackers do damage to Jason's mask. Like, if you're doing damage to Jason, the mask is going to inevitably fall off. It's going to inevitably come off, and so there is no point to having higher strength in the long run, because all the other stats could have been using these points that you're dumping into strength. So Bugsy still is. When we get into the tier list, he'll be a top tier counselor for a different reason though. For a different reason, not his strength. I'm going to give 5th place to repair. It is very, very important, of course, because, I mean, repairing objectives is like the biggest thing in this game. You need to repair objectives to escape. But it's so flimsy in the fact that you don't need 10 repair. You actually don't. In fact, 10 repair is hurting some of the counselors on this tier list. If you want to run a repair character, the best bet would be like 5, 6, maybe 7 repair, because you don't need 10 repair to like 5, 6, and 7 is damn near almost identical to 10. And also 2 and 3 repair, you can get away with it. So Nessa, Chad, Jenny with their 2 repairs, and Victoria with her 3 repair, you can get away with that. If Jason's not there, of course. You can easily get away with that, and it's very doable. But if you're trying to repair in Jason's face, you don't need 10 repair. You can do it with a 5 repair like Kenny, or a 7 repair like AJ. Like, it's very possible. So it's kind of iffy when it comes to the stat. 4th place is going to be composure. Like I said, it's very, very iffy because you can make a case for 10 composure or higher composure being better because it takes longer to reach full fear, meaning you have more stam regain. or regeneration throughout. And you can make a case for one composure being okay because Chad's one composure, he'll get scared very fast, but if Jason goes away, that one composure also is going to go back down to zero fear very very quick. And so zero fear, he'll get his stam regen back. It's very very hard to place this one, but I'm gonna place it at 4 because I can't place it any lower, especially not below strength and stealth. So top 3, I think the third best stat, or just the third place stat, is luck, because it gives you, of course, all those advantages that we went over earlier, but the main point is weapon durability. If you have, like, take AJ with her 1 luck again, for example, her baseball bat, she'll get like maybe, I think it's like 1 hit, 2 hits with it, like very very low, and you don't want to run a counselor that has to keep finding weapons and breaking off from the team. Like, you do not want that. That's why you see very very high luck counselors like Nessa and Chad and Victoria being used almost all the time, because they don't have to go search for weapons again. And of course, if you have a weapon, more saves, more durability, more saves. Also, we can go over the point of block sliding again. More durability, more times you can block slide, the more you can save yourself, possibly. All counselors should be carrying a weapon anyway. Like, if you're not even like carrying an objective part to an objective, like the gas or the boat, the propeller, or the battery for the car, if you're not carrying anything, you should have a weapon in your hand, like 100% of the time. Because if you don't, say you don't have a weapon, or your weapon breaks because you're using low luck counselor, and your teammate that you're with doesn't have a PK and they get grabbed, you are not going to save them. There's nothing that they can do to save themselves either, because again, they have no PK, you don't have a weapon to save, they're dead. Luck is very very important, but it's hard to place these top 3 stats because they're all very very important, but luck is definitely third. I'll say that second place goes to speed. You can make an argument that luck may be number 1, or speed may be number 1, or of course when we get into stamina, which I'm putting at number 1, could also be number 1, but in my opinion I think speed is number 2. Also, still very very important. I'm not saying that these top 3 are any less important. I think they're almost damn near equal, but stamina and speed just have a little bit more importance. A high speed counselor, say you have a counselor with 7 or more speed, that counselor can outspeed Jason, any Jason, running or walking, by just jogging. Like, I see that people are playing Tommy and Nessa and Bugsy and Chad and pubs all the time, and they just full on sprint away from Jason, and they're wasting stamina, which we'll get into. They're wasting stamina. Even though they have high speed stats that can outspeed Jason by just jogging around, the only time you need to run around with these counselors is if you're like carrying parts to objectives, or if you're trying to dodge a shift. That's literally it. And of course, the higher speed, the easier it is to do this. So I'm putting it at 2 for this reason. It is very very important. Now, in my opinion, and possibly this is all facts, I'm going to say, actually, I take that back, this is all facts. Everything in this video is facts. The most important stat in the game, stamina. Because if you don't have stamina, you are as good as dead, unless you have like firecrackers or a shotgun. But even then, if you use them and get a stun on Jason, that only buys you so much time. If you don't have stamina, like, or if you have a PK, yeah, I could get the PK stun, but what if Jason just slashes you? You're dead. No stamina. Stamina is the name of the game. It is the lifeblood of the counselor. If you don't have stamina, you're dead. That's why stamina regeneration and stamina conservation is so important. It is so important because, again, no stam, death. That's why I'm saying before with the speed, I'm seeing these Nessas and Chads and Bugsies and Tommies just full on sprint across the map away from Jason. And then what ends up happening to them? They run out of stam, they get caught, they die. And that's such a waste, because you could just jog him. You can just jog him and outspeed him, and he can't catch you unless he shifts. And that is the only time you need to run and burn the stamina. And at that point, if you're low on stam, you go for a stam hit, or you window hop. But again, stamina is the most important stat in the game. Do not waste it. Stamina conservation is the most important. Now that we've finally finished going through all the stats and how they work and how they're ranked against each other, we get to go into the actual tier list now. Starting off the D tier, there is no F tier because I was able to fit in all the counselors into D and above. So at the bottom of D tier, starting off is Shelly. He is the worst counselor in the game. I don't care. He wastes all of his points mostly on his stealth and his strength, which again are the 2 most useless ones in the game compared to the other ones. His force speed is meh, and his stamina is also meh. His repair is 5, which is really really good. Like, that is in the ballpark of a repair that you want. 6 composure is a hit or miss because, like we said before, lower is kind of good if Jason's not on you all the time, whereas higher stam is good if you're taking the tunnel and he's on you quite often. But luck is 1. Luck is one of the most, like, all of the top 3 stats in the game, he has the lowest in. So he is the worst in the game. He's only really good for maybe a repair and then knocking the mask off, and that's about it. And most of my arguments for this tier list will be that another counselor does their job or more jobs better than them, and that may be whatever, but that's true. It's just true. That's how it is. He is the worst counselor in the game, a very, very bad pick. You'd only pick him if you would want to meme on the Jason and you're really good at the game. Next is Jenny Myers, middle of D tier. Now this is my favorite counselor in the game, but me putting her this low tells you that I'm not biased. I'm not. Now, regular Jenny, there's 2 Jenny builds. There's a regular Jenny with her regular stats, 10 composure, 8 luck, 2 repair, 3 speed, blah blah blah, right? And before Victoria was released, she was pretty decent. She was pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. She was. Not great, but pretty decent. But then Victoria came out, and it kind of put Jenny on the back burner. And keep in mind that this is for comp, but this also can carry over to pubs. There's this build called No Fear Jenny, and I'm running it right now actually, where you run 10% preparedness and 10% Nerves of Steel with her 10 composure, and it leads to a build where she doesn't ever gain fear, she never stumbles, her screen doesn't go dark, and her stam regen is always 100% because she never gains fear. But the thing is, she is not good for comp because the meta for comp play is thick skin, medic, hypo, and of course if she's running 2 perks for the fear resistance, she can't run 2 of those meta perks, and that is a problem because if you're using those perks, it's kind of scummy. You need that extra spray or the extra 2 sprays with the medic and the hypo, so she's only this low because of that. In pubs though, she's very strong. If you play for yourself and you play scummy and you don't help your teammates, or you just want to run Jason around and waste time, No Fear Jenny is a really, really good pick. I would put her really higher, but this is a comp list, and she's gonna be this low for that reason. Still above Shelly because Shelly's shit. Now, ending off the top of D tier is Lachapa, Eric Lachapa. He has really, really good repair. Again, 10 repair is very nice, but it's not necessary. It could go to other stats, and his 8 stealth, again being the most useless stat in the game, wasted stat points. Every counselor gets 35 stats to spend across all 7 stats, except for Tommy, of course, because he has 10 in each. His 5 luck is really, really good, actually. It's a decent luck stat, but it does not excuse his poor speed, the lowest stamina in the game, and 8 of his points being stuck in the stealth. Very, very bad counselor, and there's counselors that do his job better, which he's just a repair character. I know what you guys are going to say. AJ is #1 counselor in the game. She's sneaky. Dude, stop. Okay, she's bottom of C tier for these reasons. Her stealth is maxed out. Waste of 10 points already. They only get 35, so she only has 25 left across 6 more stats. I mean, very bad. She has 1 luck, weapons break instantly almost. It's horrible. Her repair is good. It's a good ballpark. Her repair, I'll give her that. Her composure is probably glitched. I'd say that her composure is actually decent though, because of the whole Chad being 1 composure but getting his fear back down to 0 thing. Like, I'm pretty sure the same works for her because her composure is glitched. It has to be 1. But then you look at her speed and stamina, and they're both 4. She's just not a good pick. She really isn't. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but she's not. And she may be okay in pubs, but this is comp play, and she is just not there. There's, again, a bunch of counselors that do her job better, and she's just not the pick. In near the middle of C tier, I guess you'll say, we'll have Tiffany Cox. She's a decent runner, but her luck is a 4, which is not bad. Her repair is abysmal, but that's okay. Her composure is in the lower range, so it could be near Chad's level of being able to snap out of fear quickly, but she's a runner, so what she'll be doing most of the time is having Jason on her. Composure 3, not the best. 6 speed, she just misses at the threshold of being able to outspeed Jason. 6 speed is not bad in any sense, especially compared with her 9 stam, but 6 speed just misses the threshold. She can still kind of almost outspeed him. It'll take the longest. Jason will still gain on her, but at a very, very slow rate, and so once he is about to finally catch up, she can just run ahead a little bit, rinse and repeat. And with her 9 stamina, pretty decent runner. But then again, you have the 10 stealth. Yikes, dude. 10 points in stealth again. Big oof. Big oof. Stealth is very bad. Like, it's just horrible. Like, Jason's going to sense you either way, so it's just a waste of points in a stat. It is. Again, near the middle of C tier, we have Mitch Floyd. He's not bad. Like, when we get to the C tier, they're not bad picks, but... And I'm not saying that any of these characters are bad except for Shelly, but once we get to C, it's just that they're obviously better choices. They're just better choices. And Mitch is kind of like a male Jenny, just minus the luck. His repair is pretty decent. I still say that it's just a bit too many points in there. The composure's 9, which just 1 point off from being able to do a no fear build, which again is only good in pubs. Luck is an abysmal 2, which is very bad. His speed's also low with his stamina, which gives him a hard time. But of course we all know that repair characters are going to obviously start with low speed and stam. But there are repair characters that have better speed or better stam than him. And his stealth is a 6, kind of a waste, strength 3, whatever. He's mid-tier C just for these reasons. Now it's Deborah Kim at the top of C tier. We're getting into the better counselors now, but she still just barely missed it. Again, because she's wasted so many points in repair and stealth. Like, stealth is useless. In terms of the meta, it is useless. And repair does not need to be 10 to be good. It can be 5, 6, 7. You can get away with a 2 if Jason is on you, like I previously mentioned. 4 speed, 3 stam. Like, Mitch had what, 3 speed, 4 stam, so it's just interchanged. It's just like flipped, and so it's not much of a difference. And then that 3 luck is also very, very bad. So if you take a look at her the top 3 stats that I mentioned earlier, they're all really low, with luck being 3, speed being 4, stamina being 3. That's why she is this low. Starting off the beats here at the very bottom is Bugsy Wilson. Now I know what you're thinking. Guru, his luck is 2. Wouldn't he break weapons and not be able to start the car fast? Sure. I'll give you that. But he has 8 speed, 8 stam, and 10 strength. Like I said, strength isn't the most important stat. Of course it's not. Like I said, it's the 6th most important. Very, very bottom tier. But he's got 10 strength. That mask, if you're going for kill, Bugsy is the go. He is the way to go, simply. But if you're going for kill, Bugsy's the way to go. Because quite simply, he's the best pick. And then, of course, his 8 speed and his 8 stam, he can outspeed any Jason by jogging, and he can do it for a fucking long time. He is a really good support character and a good fighter, and that's his shtick, and he does really, really well at it. So he's at the bottom of B for this reason. For the middle of B, we have Adam Palomino. He is probably one of the best repairs in the game. His composure 7, it's a whatever. 2 luck again, I know, oof, but you know, he's a really good repair. He has 6 repair, that's the ballpark that you want to be in. 5 speed is decent for a repair character, and 4 stam, that's very, very good. For a repair, nice. 3 stealth, didn't waste too many points on it. And he has 8 strength, so he can demask, he can fight, he can do pretty much everything. But there's just, of course, we're going to get to a counselor that can do it even better. Again, all this tier list is based off of is the comp meta and what counselors are better than others. This is like a side note. After I finished recording all the initial clips of this video, I went back and I picked up on me constantly like negating or disregarding the composure stat for some counselors like Adam and other ones. But I need to make this clear that the whole Chad being 1 composure and getting scared quick but losing the fear back down to 0 fast thing, it's a double-edged sword. You don't want to be scared quick, but then again, if he leaves you, you go back down to 0 fear faster and your stamina regen rebuilds up. But with a higher composure, also is a double-edged sword. You take longer to get max fear and your stamina regen drops slower, but once he leaves you, if he does, it takes longer to get back down to 0. Takes longer to reset your stamina regen. So I'm just going to make that clear. Just because it's high doesn't mean it's bad. Just because it's low doesn't mean it's bad. Higher composure is still really good because it takes longer for you to get that fear back up, and your stamina regen is a lot faster, and it's really, really good. So in some cases it's better than the lower composure, and in other cases it's better than the higher composure. It's just, I needed to make that clear so you guys aren't confused and I don't get shit from the sweats in the comments. So for the middle of B, again, we'll have Victoria Sterling. She is the better version of Jenny Myers, in my opinion. She's one of the top support in the game. She has really high luck. Her speed is but her stamina is 7, which is very nice. Her stealth also is 7, which is kind of a waste. But looking at her as a support character that can also kind of repair with her 3 repair, she's a very, very good pick. and you'll see a Victoria being ran in almost every single league match and tourney match, especially if they don't allow dupes. So she's a very good pick, a very good counselor, and she is middle B tier. Now starting off the A tier, we have Fox at the bottom. I think that she is the best repair in the game, other than Tommy, of course. She is probably the best repair in the game. She's just a female Adam, and the benefit that female counselors have over male counselors is that they can grab the sweater if need be, and kill pressure is important. So she's better than Adam just because of that, but also because their stats are damn near the same. She has, instead of 5 speed 4 stam, she has 4 speed 5 stam. Strength is 1 point off from Adam's. The stealth is only 1 point more. Her repair is 6, which is a really good ballpark again. 3 luck is okay. Not the best, of course, but it's okay. And then her composure is 6 too. So she's really almost kind of well-rounded in a sense, but she's very good. She can fight, she can kind of run, and she can do well at repairing. So she's going to be at the bottom of A for this reason. In the middle of the A tier, we have Kenny Rydell. And every single tier list or whatever that I see, he's a jack of all trades, and their argument is that he's not, good at anything, so he's got to either be mid-tier or shit. No. 5 speed, 5 stam, that's whatever. That's actually pretty decent, especially when you tie in that he has 5 luck, which is really good, and 5 repair, 5 strength. He can demask. He's good at everything, kind of, in a sense, because you don't have to have max stats for it to be perfectly fine. You can get away with this, and he's very good because of that reason. And you can argue that he's better than Fox at repairing. He's the better smart, but and I do kind of agree in a sense, but I think you can interchange them because Fox can grab the sweater, so you could put her above him, or you can put him above her because he's good at almost everything. So it's iffy, but he's in the middle of A tier easily. Topping off the A tier, we have probably the second best counselor in the game, because I'm not including Tommy as a counselor. Sorry. Chad is probably the second best in the game, just because, it's Chad Kensington. He's the best bully, the best support, and he can repair. His 10 luck is insane. His 9 speed is insane. His 4 stamina is an iffy one, but then again, you have 10 luck, 9 speed, and he's a bully. He can fight. He can even demask if need be with 3 strength. Like, you don't need to have a high strength to demask. Like, he's just a really, really good counselor. Really, really good counselor. So this is, everyone knows the meme, dude. Chad with a baseball bat, dude. Like, come on. He is the best support in the game, and that's why you see him ran in almost every game. Pub lobby or league match or tourney match, doesn't matter. He's a top tier pick. You guys have to have seen this coming. Sitting alone at S tier by herself is Vanessa Jones. There's just no other way that you can make an argument that she belongs anywhere else. And there's no other way that you can tell me that anyone's better than her. No. She's the best counselor in the game. She can grab the sweater. She can fight. She can demask with her 4 strength. She has 9 stamina, 10 speed. She can repair with 2 repair easily. And she has 6 luck. Dude, she can do everything. She literally can do everything. The only thing that she can't do is repair with Jason on her. But then again, that's such a what if. She can easily repair with 5 skill checks, a battery when Jason's not around. Free. Very free. She can fight, run them, support even, STN, escape. She is the best in the game, and there's no other argument you can make for that. That's just how it is, dude. You see her being ran everywhere, and there's a reason for that. There's an easy reason for that. She's in the S tier by herself. Best counselor in the game. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to, in the next screen, I'm going to put up like an actual tier list of all the counselors, so you can get a better reference. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. It took a decent amount of time to make. I'm not going to go and say that it took forever. It didn't. But I did put some work into it. And I'm going to make a Jason tier list as well. You'll be able to see that maybe next week, because I go to Vegas in 3 days, so I won't be available. But you'll be seeing this probably May 2nd. You'll probably be seeing this May 2nd. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.